Hey everybody, I know it's been a minute since I've done a video, but I want to welcome you to the Journey Back with Tiffany Hunt today. And this information today and what I'm discussing today just needs to be said. It needs to be talked about, it needs to be discussed. I want to speak today about how I'll just talk to you guys about my story, and I understand that my story is not unique, and that a lot of people were in the same place or in the same boat when they came into Christianity like I was. So I'm just going to give it to you guys straight. I've been pondering, and this was after a conversation I had with my daughter about being called weird. And I shared with my daughter that being weird or being odd or being different is a requirement for her, for what she came into this lifetime to do. And what, in order to fulfill her purpose, being weird, being misunderstood, just being all of who she actually came into this lifetime to be, is going to require her to not necessarily fit into the mold. And it caused me to start thinking about how, with my own personal experiences in the context of Christianity, even talking to her, how somebody calling her weird, how it just, she's 8 years old, and, it just really hurt her feelings, and it, devastated her because of not being accepted and not being embraced by people that didn't even really necessarily know her in detail, but just from how she showed up, their first response to her was she was weird. And just it hurt her feelings. And I've had my own experiences when I was in the church, and I wasn't just in the church, I was preaching in the pulpit, I was plugging an amp up and a microphone on a corner, I was preaching on the streets, I was coming to people's doors and passing out tracts and telling people how they were wrong, and how if they didn't get right with Jesus that they were going to hell, and that they were born in sin and they were shaped in iniquity, and their righteousness was a filthy rag before the throne of God, and all those things. And the first thing I want to do is apologize to all those people that believed my words, to all those people that were affected and whose self-esteem was shot, not just during the time that they were hearing me and with the words that I was saying, but to those people that were already in a broken place and hurting and wounded, and coming to the church for refuge, and coming to the church to be embraced for who they were, and for what their natural gifts were, but then again found rejection again, and found the need and the force to be put into a box and to be somebody else and to conform and to fit. And so I'm reviving the preacher today. We have there are serious consequences and repercussions for tearing a person apart, for ripping a person to shreds. I know me, when I came into the church, like a lot of people, I was already in a low place. I was already in a broken place. I was already looking for something or someone or this thing, God, this Jesus person, to fill holes and to bring me to a place of peace, just in general, and then on top of that with myself. But I didn't find necessarily that peace per se. I found another place, another entity, another group of people that were rejecting the me, that were rejecting who I actually am, that were telling me everything about me was wrong and that I was born wrong. That's what this particular scripture, Psalms 52:5, where David is talking about, behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Which basically means, I was born wrong. I was born with iniquity. And how many of you all have had children and have been in the labor and delivery room and have bore a child into the world and can look into that baby's face and say that you're born wrong, you're born in sin, something is wrong with you, you need to be fixed, you need to be delivered, you need to be washed, you need to be clean, you need to be delivered, you need to be broken, and we beat the individuality, we kill the individuality in our children because we have a desire for them to conform, because who they are makes us uncomfortable, because kids have unlimited potential. There are studies that have shown most of us come in geniuses. Most of us come into the world as a genius, but school and parenting and the way we've been nurtures us out of the very phenomenal people and beings we are when we come here. And so I implore you to consider that you were already great when you came in, that you were already phenomenal when you got here, that some things in your life caused the phenomenal person that you were to be buried, caused the phenomenal and outside of the box being that you are to crumble and to acquiesce and to give in, because who you are isn't popular. Who you naturally are is not actually socially acceptable, but what you came here to do requires all of those things. But consider that you've lost all the skills that you need in order to do the thing that you actually came here to do, because you wanted to fit in, because you forgot your purpose. You forgot what you came here to fulfill. And so because you forgot, you decided to lose all those skills, abilities, knowledge, wisdom, all those things. You decided to put that aside for acceptance, for somebody else to embrace you, because you've never been embraced, because you've never been welcomed. Well, I want to first say welcome. I want to first say consider going back to your original nature, your original being, your original self. Consider embracing that person. Consider digging up all those things and ways of being that you had that gave you unlimited potential before life started to beat you up and give you black eyes and give you swollen lips and broken ribs. Before you allowed others to determine how great you are, before you allowed others to put their own perceptions and own goals for you at the forefront of who you are supposed to be, that is not in full alignment with who you actually came here to be and what you actually came here to do. I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey of becoming. And what and who I am becoming is who I actually already was. What I'm learning is what I actually already know. I just have buried the information because I didn't accept myself. I was wallowing in a place of rejection from the beginning. If some of you consider what the process was for you to get here, some of you were born to teenage mothers. Some of you were born to parents and families that had, rampant drug issues or drinking problems and all kinds of socio-economical issues. You came into a place and you allowed that to kill your imagination. You allowed your environment to produce a you that you actually aren't. So I'm encouraging you to go back to your natural self, to go back to your nature, to resuscitate that which has died in you, but it is actually causing you to lose sleep at night. Because some of you are having dreams, some of you are having visions, but because of the box you've been put in, you can't even conceive how to put the vision together. Even though deep down within yourself, you know that there's something missing. You know that there's a piece of you that's unexplored that really you're being pulled to explore, but all of your outside environment, all of your outside people would reject that part of you. And so because they reject that part of you or reject those pieces of you, you reject those pieces of yourself. And so I'm saying to you, if no one ever welcomed you, if no one ever embraced your natural gifts, if no one ever supported the you that you were when you were born, I want to say welcome. I want to say that you're embraced here. I want to say that there is room for you here. I want to say that there is people waiting for you to become that person, waiting for you to embrace those characteristics, waiting for you to sharpen those skills, waiting for you to bring that gift to the forefront so that they can become, so that they have space and room to be. I want you to, as I always want to give you fuel for action, I want you to consider these things. I want you to ponder these things. I want you to think on these things. I want you to begin to do the work. I want you to begin to do the digging, because I can see my own story. When I went into the church, I was looking for love and acceptance, and we're trained and we're taught to look outside of ourselves for the answer, to look outside of ourselves for the love, to look outside of ourselves to be embraced. But I'm imploring you to first embrace yourself. First learn yourself. Embrace yourself. Take the journey to figure out what you actually came here to do. Because most of your jobs, your career paths don't even measure up. But the fear of the rejection, even though the thing is, you're doing everything they want you to do and they still rejecting you. They still not embracing you. They still not giving you room. So why not do what it is that you know you should be doing? Why not do what it is that you know you came here to do? Why not explore that? Why not create a new tribe? Why not create new connections with people that are actually going in the direction that you want to see your life go in, but that you've allowed the fear to cripple you from moving in that direction. You've allowed the rejection to cripple you from trying something new and doing something new, which is really something old. Consider that the something new that you want to do is actually something old, something ancient, something in your primal way of being, something in your bones, something in your psyche, something in your soul and in your spirit that you've denied, that you've denounced, that you've laid aside, that you've buried, but that still haunts you at night. That still comes to you in the back of your mind, in the recesses of your mind, that you won't talk to anybody about because you don't feel their space. You don't see the room because your vision, you're blinded. Your mind has been blinded. I want you to consider these things. I want you to open your mind up. I want you to consider that you came to shift the paradigm. I want you to consider that you have not been accepted in the things, in the natural person, the natural part of who you are has been rejected by the masses because they don't realize that they need it yet. I'm speaking to those that are in a search, that are in a seek, that are in a place where they're like, I know it's something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know it's something I'm supposed to be exploring. I'm sure it's something else I'm supposed to be doing. But everything around me in my environment is telling me no. But there's something that's deep down screaming inside of me that is giving me the yes, that is giving me the go ahead, that is keeping me up at night, that is causing me to be distracted, that is disrupting my day to day. And I can't get to that place of peace. I'm missing it. I know I'm missing a mark. I know my money may look okay, or my family may look like it's put together, but I'm not living with purpose. I'm not living my purpose out. I'm not walking out what I came here to do. I'm lost in the sauce. I know my bank account and I'm making more money now than I ever made, or maybe I'm not. I'm living in a way that I never lived. I came out of that place of poverty, but I still feel broke. I'm not impoverished financially anymore, but my soul is impoverished. My being is in lack. And I know that there's something that I need to do about it, but where do I start? What do I do? How do I put it together? How can I embrace that part and everybody else has rejected it? You have the power to create the new beginning. Embrace the genius that you were before school, before nurturing into a box. Come out of the box. Be willing to go against the grain, because the very people that are rejecting those pieces and parts in you are actually thirsting, dying of thirst for the thing that you came here to give, for the thing that you were created for. You were not a mistake. You were not born wrong. You were not born wrong. I'm going to say that one more time. You were not born in iniquity. You were not born wrong. You were born knowing. You were born clear. But you decided to give up knowing and clear for belief in unseen, faith in unknown, trust in unproven. But before you knew, before you were clear, before you had it, look deep within. I'm here to help. I'm here to support. Please like, please subscribe, please share this video, because I know it's a lot of y'all that need to hear what it is that I'm talking about. And when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself. I'm in a journey. I'm in a process. I'd love for some of you to come along with me if you desire to go. It's going to take something. It's going to require something. Uncomfortability is going to be necessary. But you're able to pull and push through it and get it done. So let's stop wasting our lives. And let's begin to live out purpose. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonder-filled rest of the day. And be encouraged. Fuel for action. Self-actualization. Self-love. Self-care. All of that. This has been The Journey Back with Tiffany Hunt. Have a wonderful one.